Anyway, so being the nice girl that we are, we actually have to go return that. I was going to say though, Roberta Williams apparently had some issues with this game, not because it was because she, you die a lot because it's a Sierra game, and she was like, and she actually like had bad reactions to seeing like a woman die a lot in an adventure game. Oops. Like it was like
did her skin break out or something?
I don't.
What kind of reactions are we talking about here?
It's not like allergic reaction, but it's kind of weird when you're seeing like the girl protagonist walk off the edge of a cliff and fall into a bloody heap. I don't know. It was the 80s. And a bra, says Chad.
And a bra?
And a bra. In the bag. Cigarette butts in a bra. Anyway, so...
Oh, there are things I can use in here. Throws the bra away.
They're digging the whole night through. Can you hear the jaunty music? Because it just stopped.
It's so jaunty.
Alright, so we gotta go talk to... Who's the blue one? I think this was one of the Santas. Talk to Santa. This game does not understand Santa. Oh, what cruel parents this game had. I can't even spell dwarf. You endeavor to engage in conversation. Somebody suddenly got verbose. They're too busy to reply. Fine, I'll give them the pouch.
Leave us alone.
Being an honest person, he offered the forgotten pouch of diamonds to the dwarf. His gruff exterior softens a bit. Nah, you can keep it, he says. We got plenty here. I know they should be Scottish, but it's St. Patrick's Day, so... We got an extra lantern we ain't using. Here, go ahead and be taking it. The dwarf's gruffness returns, as he said. I'll say this gruffly.
Who, me?
Yeah, why not?
We're...
Right there.
Let's get on out of here!
What's that?
It's gruff!
He's gruff, he's not like a drunk Australian.
He was a limey.
Alright, well, he let me keep the pouch and gave me a lantern, because that makes sense. Jonathan isn't looking at chat very much. It's mostly me looking at chat.
By very much is, I can't see that screen at all, because his enormous fat body is in the way.
My body is perfectly fine, thank you.
So I'm drawing in the background, and I can see what's going on the actual game, but I can't see chat, so he has to tell me.
Chad is horrified by your voice. Basically, was the gist of that.
Well, thank you, Chad. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me, unfortunately.
That was basically what you said.
Ooh,
look, there's a bird getting a worm. Maybe it's one of those drinking birds.
No, he got up early.
Let's scare the bird away and get the worm. Get worm. Okay, so no, you best scare her.
What?
Okay, so now let's start killing off Rosella, because this is half the fun of King's Quest games. So if we go down from the mine, find this nice house. It's a giant house. Might have giants in it.
Or bears.
Or possibly a wolf that's disguised as grandma. You're greeted only with vicious barking from the other side. Well, probably that wolf. But sometimes when you walk in... Oh, look, here's some scary trees.
They're not that scary. They're just kind of creepy.
Well, it's playing scary music.
They're not as scary as the Black Cauldron scary trees.
Those trees were pretty scary. If you walk into them, they kill you, so I'm not going to try.
These ones look more like the ones from...
wouldn't you know it? You've been caught. The ones from Wizard of Oz, that what you're going to say?
Yeah, they're going to throw apples at you.
I don't even know what they do. Like, I've been caught, but... Oh, I guess I'm dead. I didn't even show them doing anything. Thanks, Roberta Williams. Next time, be more careful. Next time, you better scare the servitor. So, don't walk into the trees.
Next time, cram it!
So, I don't know what this black thing is here. I guess it's a log or something, but it always looked like a really dead Alexander to me.
What?
Like, for the Gwydion, I guess.
What?
Anyway, that thing right there.
How does explain?
It's like his hair, and then his arms are like... Look, I was like 8 years old when I played this game the first time. So,
moving on.
Just punch it. What does that mean? So here's a waterfall, and oh no, it's the Raven from Sleeping Beauty.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe. No. So here's a nice looking waterfall, and I think this is the dwarf's house over here. Well, eventually. What was that horrible noise?
Scratching with a marker.
Oh.
You'd know if you ever drew anything.
You're the Doodler. Alright, so now we found the creepy old mansion. It's basically a square. It's the closest we get to a square castle in this game.
Oh.
There is a castle in this game, but I don't think it's a square. It's a spooky old house. Looks if no one's lived here. Flanking the old house is a cemetery. A thick forest looms all around.
Looms.
That's a fun game. Anyway, here's a creepy tree, but not one that kills you. And some graves.
But you can look through it, though.
We'll look at those graves later. A lot of them have terrible puns written on them because King's Quest games do that.
What? No.
And here's some more graves. Anyway. Just kind of giving you the lay of the land. What was that?
I hit my elbow.
Okay, so we visited pretty much most of the main areas of Tamir now. So let's go to the evil witch's house. Lolote. Ladati. Here's the other castle in the game. It's there on the left. It's towers.
Ooh, always these winding paths.
Also, no, we've been kidnapped by goons.
Flying monkeys.
Goons! Yeah, no, Lolote is basically the Wicked Witch of the West in many different ways. Well, my pets, what have you drunk home today? That's right, I'm doing a witch and Irish at the same time. Let's see how terrible it becomes. She's given us the once over.
I don't know.
Are you a foolish girl who wandered here by mistake? Or are you a spy sent by my enemy, a Genesta? You swear to Lolote, you're nothing but a poor peasant girl who's lost her way, but she doesn't seem to believe you as her mouth begins to snarl. Her mouth snarls? And her eyes narrow to mirror slits. That's my snarl. For the first time, you experience real fear, despite the fact you just spent a week tied up next to a dragon. Did we forget the last game?
Yes.
You don't look stupid enough to have wandered here. I believe you're a spy. Take her to the cell. We've only got the one. Well, here we're in the cell.
You get in it.
Or the goons are all moose from Archie.
Yeah, that's how they talk. Yeah, get in there.
Yeah, stay out of Riverdale. Anyway, so you can see in the cell there's a rack, some dead dudes, some sort of pitchfork. I don't know what's going on here. There's literally nothing you can do in this cell other than just kind of wander around. Let's look at our inventory. We've got a worm. Oh, that's not a worm. That's a worm.
Oh, I see you've played Inventory Wormy before.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't take our diamond pouch, but screw her. Nice rack, says chat.
I knew it, and I was holding off.
You hear the henchmen returning. Perhaps they're setting you free. Oh, swing your magic sword. They'll be stunned for half a second.
Isn't that...
That's from the Black Cauldron.
Black Cauldron.
All right, so here's the plot. You're lucky, my dear. Lolote coos.
That did not sound like a coo. Do it in a cooish voice.
My precious son Edgar has taken liking to you, and he believes you. He's convinced me to give you a chance to prove your innocence. And now he's blushing.
I want to do his voice.
He doesn't say anything, he just blushes.
Well,
you can do his voice eventually.
Here's what he would say.
I wish to own the unicorn that inhabits the Meadowland. That's not what he actually says. That was Lolote saying. Bring me the unicorn, and I shall not only set you free, but reward you as well. Take her back to the forest. Apparently, Lolote's becoming very incoherent. Okay, so step one with Lolote here is we've got to get the unicorn. Anyway, what would Edgar sound like?
Oh, really like it. You're a pretty girl, I'm sure.
Jiminy Glick. Okay.
That's what he'd sound like.
Anyway, we never actually went in that house. We just kind of looked at it. So let's actually go in the house, because there's some stuff in there we need to grab real quick. Squeaky. Actually, there's one thing we need to grab in here right now.
But there's plenty of things to do.
It's a spooky house.
Probably poisonous.
It's filled with 999 haunts, but there's always room for 1,000. Whoa. Don't forget your death certificate. If my brother were here, he could quote that whole thing for you.
What is that from?
It's from the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. Anyway, there's some doorways and crap. Okay, whatever. And here's something kind of interesting about King's Quest 4. Unlike King's Quest 3 that had a literal, just like a timer at the top of the screen, King's Quest 4 actually, it's supposed to, read clock? It's supposed to actually give you the time. There we go. It's 9:09 a.m. Time actually passes, and if you wait around long enough, eventually night will fall. Yeah, spooky house that just so happens to be very well lit. That's true. It's not free of dust, though. There's like, cobwebs. Night will eventually fall, and then you get killed by zombies, so...
Yay!
Well, let's, things happen. Anyway, let's look at the portrait.
Oh, look, that creepy picture.
It's an interesting portrait. Oh, look. Is everyone a retarded Australian today? This is how we're celebrating
on St. Patrick's Day, everyone is a retarded Australian.
With a mouthful of marbles. Anyway, that picture's looking at the left of the lobby. The left of the parlor. There's a secret door over there, but we're not going to worry about that right now, because...
Don't tell everyone there's a secret door.
I'm sorry, the picture's looking at the left of the lobby because for no reason at all. That's how adventure games work.
You're spoiling things.
I'll spoil your mama. That was odd. Anyway, let's get the complete works of William Shakespeare spelled wrong. That actually is a play. Spelled weirdly like that.
Oh. I thought you said the complete worst of William Shakespeare.
He jests to scars that never felt a wound. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun.
The sun!
That's the only thing in the book. That's the only Shakespeare quote we know. Kiss me, Kate. We'll be married till Sunday. See? That's Irish. We'll be married till Sunday.
We'll go dancing in the morning.
It's just a... It's the king. This is just random Shakespeare quotes now. May glories my state depose, but not my grief. Still, I'm king of those. Bell, book, and candle shall not drive me back. They will grant me access to the Stygian abyss.
What?
That's an Ultima reference for you old school gamers. You need the...
Sheldon, we're looking in your direction.
I think Sheldon's only seen the Spoony videos.
He's an old school gamer, kind of.
Anyway, let's, you know what you do with the book? It's kind of hilarious. Remember that guy that sucks at the loot? Here he is. Speak of the devil. Let's give him this book.
No, he's the devil.
No! You hand the Shakespeare book to the minstrel. Curiously, he opens it, begins to read aloud, first hesitantly, then with increased forcefulness as he begins to get into it. Forsooth!
Alright, Shakespeare is a pretty good book to read.
He actually has lines if you want to read them.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, suddenly he stops and looks at you.
No longer am I a mere minstrel.
We're turning him into Shakespeare.
Now I will become a famous actor.
Oh, you're turning him into
to be or not to be.
Are you trying to be Calculon?
How's
now?
that? I think I missed one of his lines.
To be or not a dramatic pause. Anyway, so now we've got the loot. And let's actually see if it is. Okay, it is a loot. Just making sure.
Got plenty of loot.
Yeah. Now let's go find Pan and give him the loot, and then maybe he'll give us the flute. There's the unicorn.
The loot for the flute.
Whoop. The unicorn still rides away. Sheldon says he's more NES old school than PC old school.
Hey, I'm there with you. I'm right there with you.
No, you're not. You're like 2 states away.
Oh. Sorry, Sheldon. Sorry I can't be there with you.
Where is the stupid Pan?
One day we'll be together again, Sheldon. Speaking of which, Sheldon,
Give loot
so
to Pan.
weird random thing that only refers to you. Like 2 days ago, I had a dream that we were still on our trip, but we were going to Denver. And it was a magical city in the mountains with like houses up on the sides of canyon walls.
It was basically one of those like Adobe Anasazi villages from southern. Yeah. Loot has
But
loot.
futuristic.
Let's see how well Rosella plays the lute. Are you ready?
Well, boys, I gotta be ready.
She's just playing the King's Quest IV theme song. And it still sounds like a trumpet. This is a terrible MT32 emulator.
Oh, get your money back.
Pan, what, the money I got? Because it's an emulator, it's free. Actual MT32 synthesizers, which is what this game was written for, are like, they're not in production anymore, and they cost like $300 on eBay, so screw that. But they do sound a lot better. Panazist is dancing and now looks at you and the lute curiously. Now you give the lute to Pan. I'm not close enough. This game just wants me to be close to things.
It just wants to be close to you, Jeffrey.
Aww. Don't stand too close to me.
I won't, because you stink.
Pan gravely accepts your gift of the lute, and he gives you the flute. So we trade the lute for the flute.
The lute flute.
And you know, and ironically, maybe not ironically, but kind of cool, is you do use the flute to get the fruit.
Do you get more loot?
No, just the fruit.
Oh, okay.